So in this activity, we're going to take a look at traditional classes. Traditional classes meaning the classes where you actually go into a classroom and you sit at your desk and you have a teacher directly in front of you teaching. And we're going to compare those traditional classes to an online class, like the class that you're taking right now. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take some time to think about the things that these two types of classes have in common, how they're the same, and some ways that they are different. Okay, and you should have already opened, if you haven't, you will need to do so, you should have already opened your Venn diagram that's attached with this assignment. You're going to complete your Venn diagram and you're going to submit it as the submission for you to be graded for this assignment. But I'm going to get you started here just very briefly, that way we know that you're submitting exactly what you need to. So, when you open up your Venn diagram, it should look like what's on the screen right now. You'll see a blue circle marked traditional classes, a very light yellow circle marked online classes, and then a section in the middle with some overlap, and that's a section for what these classes share, what they have in common. That's the both section of the graphic organizer. So all you need to do when you open this graphic organizer is first of all save it, that way you have a copy for yourself, and you're just going to fill this in. To fill in the blocks, all you need to do is type directly in the white, click directly in the white box, and then you can type in it. So, let's take a moment and think about how traditional classes and online classes are different. Well, the first thing, very simple, very obvious. Traditional classes take place in a classroom, in a building. Online classes obviously do not. You don't really want to do the insert thing, because that takes up lots of room. They take place online. Okay, they don't have a physical classroom that you walk into, they have an online classroom. Okay, so very obvious the way that these two classes are different. Let's think about a way that they are both the same. Well, what's the purpose of a traditional class? It's the same purpose of an online class. In both, the purpose is to learn something. Maybe it's science, maybe it's English, maybe it's history, could be anything, but in a traditional class and an online class, your purpose is still the same. It doesn't matter that how it's being presented is different, it still has the same goal. You can go to an English class room in a traditional class, sit there and your teacher will teach you about English, grammar, punctuation, spelling. You will read and do some literature. In an online class, even though you're not sitting at a desk in front of a teacher, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to learn grammar and spelling and punctuation, and you're going to read literature. Now, you might be learning that sitting in your pajamas on your bed at night, or maybe at your dining room table with a snack next to you. So your location is different, but purpose is the same. What I want you to do when you're completing this graphic organizer is really think about the nitty-gritty details. Okay? Think about what it's like to be in a classroom. Think about things like asking and answering questions, interacting with classmates, interacting with your teacher. Think about your physical space, what you require. And then think about the online class in those terms. Interacting with teacher. How do you interact with your classmates? What do you need to be successful? What do you need to do to be successful? We're not just looking at physical things like where we're at, but what do you need to do in a traditional class in order to get a passing grade? What do you need to do in an online class in order to get a passing grade? Is it different? Is it the same? Are there some things that are different and some things that are the same? So you need to be thinking about all of these things as you complete your organizer. Make sure that you, in this organizer, do touch base on like the physical things, the things that you see and the things that you hear, but also think about how you learn in both of these classes. I would like you to come up with at least 3 more things that show how they're similar, okay, how they're the same, and 3 more differences. So you should have a total then of 4 things in each of your boxes by the time you're done with this assignment. As always, if you have any questions about your assignment before you complete it, make sure that you contact your teacher for some extra help.